Hello, Care Nation. This is your friend Dave Gadvi. Guess what day is it? It is Tuesday, and we are back with one more episode of Entrepreneur Mastermind, where we have genius Lily Ma joining us from Canada, and we're going to answer some of the entrepreneur related questions as to how you can grow your business, how you can get into business, how you can actually expand your business, anything and everything to do with business. So let us welcome Lily. How are you, Lily?
Oh my goodness, I am doing so well. Genius. Wow, that's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. But you know what? I like it. I'm going to live up to it.
Yeah, that's how we roll, isn't it? All right. So for people who are just joining in for the first time, let me just quickly introduce. Lilima is based out of Canada. She is an entrepreneur. She is the business coach, and she's also a professional dance instructor. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah. I'm still teaching dance. Yeah.
That's good. And she also is one of the acclaimed TEDx speakers. So, in short, she is amazing. And for people who don't know me, my name is Dave Gadvi. I am, again, an author. I am the coach, sales, social media, and business expert. Basically, I'm a passionpreneur. I usually help people who are passionate about something to convert that passion into business and grow their business and achieve financial freedom. Those are the big, heavy words that I'm come up with today. But I welcome you guys for tuning in. If you're tuning in live or you're listening to this as a repeat telecast, we have few questions that usually gets asked on Evan Carmichael's show, and Lily is part of that. And we come up with those questions every week and answer those questions together every week on Tuesday. And if you have any questions, we take live questions as well. So, Lily, why don't we dive into the questions right now, unless you have anything else to add?
I have one thing to add. I love passion. What? Passionpreneur.
Yes.
I think that's the first time I've heard of that. That's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
Passionpreneur. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're going to dive right into the first question. The first question comes from Sharon. So she's asking, I've set a date to launch my business and I've fallen behind. Do you have any suggestions or advice on not being able to meet deadlines?
Okay, so she has set up a launch date. She is falling behind the launch date. What are the suggestion or advice on not being able to meet deadlines? Now, first of all, is is the launch date delayed because of certain reason? Because that there's something which is to be done, it's not getting done because of external forces. Then yes, there's nothing much you can do. You can just try and solve those problems. I know when you start a new business, there are so many things that you look at. You need to look at the business registration. You need to look at, having all the legal documents. You need to have your social media channels in place, everything, right? So I understand there are a few things not in your hand. So if it is external force, try and see if you can leverage others, external people, especially join some entrepreneur masterminding groups where you have some budding entrepreneurs. They have probably solved those problems, learn from them and try and use those things. So leverage people, leverage network, leverage their expertise. Try and see if it is about money, shell out a little extra money if it required. It really depends on how committed are you in getting started your business, right? So if it is an external. Now if it is internal and if it is more to do with the drive, you're probably procrastinating because of some reasons. Probably you're not comfortable with something. Maybe you're not comfortable going on videos or whatever. I don't know what exactly you're into in terms of business. But if you're, for example, when I had to go live for the first time, I had butterflies in my stomach, right? So I think Lily can definitely relate to it. Lily, you definitely had a lot of butterflies when you were on the show. I mean, when you were
Oh
on
my
TikTok.
gosh. Of course. And you know what? This is so funny that you mentioned it because Dev, you are my first live ever. Remember back in the day, back in June, I think was our
Oh
first
yeah.
live.
Oh, was
That
I?
was my
Okay, I didn't know
first
that.
live. You didn't know that. I was so nervous. I was sweating. And honestly, Dev, for the rest of the day, I had a huge headache because I was so stressed out and so anxious. And right now, I'm fine. I feel very comfortable. I feel like I'm talking to one of my good friends. I don't feel the nervousness at all. It does pass. Yeah. So I want you to, I guess you didn't know. It was my first time
Okay. Well, then
ever.
you did a pretty good job. That since I did not know, you did a pretty good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more clarity around what it is that Sharon is struggling with. Yeah, sure. It's a lot of it is fear. Maybe you're afraid to put your product out there, fear for rejection. And fear, I've been thinking a lot about fear and how to handle fear. I don't think anybody has successfully overcome fear ever. Your fear threshold just widens as the time goes on. Like we were talking about, my first live with you was like the most fearful thing I've done in a long time. But now it's like it's nothing. It's like, oh, I mean, it's not like it's nothing, but it's a lot more comfortable for me. But if I were to step on stage and speak in front of thousands of people, that's going to be nerve wracking. So it's always expanding your comfort zone as much as you can. Now, a couple of tactical things to help Sharon is I know we entrepreneurs, we like to figure everything out on our own. I mean, it's great that she extended and asked us a question, but I think if you could involve more people in your mission and try to, like Dev was saying, leverage other people's strengths, and then maybe you could have more help. And you don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to, even though we want to be solopreneurs, you could always ask for help, whether if it's your friends, family, other entrepreneurs, mastermind groups, whatever it is, you can always find more help. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful point you mentioned about the fear. Fear is an indicator that you have to move forward. Fear is
Mm-hmm.
an indicator that you don't know something. Fear is an indicator that that is exactly what you should do. I had a lot of fear when I started in sales, making cold calls. I mean, the biggest fear that we have in our lives is when it comes to talking to a stranger, right? We don't know somebody. How would the other person react? How the things will go. What if that person rejects me? Again, you mentioned the rejection as well. So the fear is an indicator. You need to conquer that fear and take a step forward. Another thing I read in one of the book, which is 5 Seconds Rule by Mel Robbins. I think you might also read it. So that rule is like whenever there's anything that you're hesitating to do, just count till five backward, right? Say five, four, three, two, one, go, right? Five, four, three, two, one, jump, right? Five, four, three, two, one, explode. Whatever works for you. If you give your brains some time, the brain is so tricky that it will talk you out of doing something, and your fear will just grow. Fear feeds on time, right? More time you give to your fear, it'll grow. And again, it's not my personal wisdom, okay? It's coming from Grant Cardone and Mel Robbins. I'm not that genius coming up with those things, but I read it somewhere. But it is really good. So whatever it is that you're really, holding yourself back from not going live and not being able to meet deadlines, tactical things, write the task down and write down why you're worried about it, and then think everything that you can to think positive that it is going to work out. Even if you fail, you will learn and you will succeed. Everybody fails. Thomas Edison failed 1013 times till he found the electric bulb. So I hope that answers your question. We have no idea about your business, but if you do want to come back to us with more details, we will be happy to take that question as well. So good question, Sharon.
Beautiful. Okay, so second question comes from Mark. So Mark says, I have made an invention and I think it will be of interest for a big coffee chain such as Starbucks or Dunkin Donuts. How can I approach them?
Interesting. Look, so what I'm understanding is it's a product which will complement Starbucks and the big coffee shops, the chains, to probably help them grow their business or solve their challenges, right? These are the only two things which your product will do. Now, before you even approach them, you need to have a clear understanding as to what is it that your product is going to do for them, right? A lot of people get caught up in demonstrating their product with benefits. Don't talk about benefits, but talk about what it would it mean to them, right? I was watching one of the Dan Lok videos. Whenever you're pitching something, again, we're just talking about the tactical thing here, assuming that you're in front of them, and then we'll talk about how to get in front of them as well. So once you're in front of them, share, you know, your product in such a way that you ask yourself a question, so what, right? You say that, okay, I have this product which will help you solve so and so, which does this. Then at the end you ask yourself, so what? So what will answer your question as to, so that means you will be able to save this much, or this is how you'll be able to do better, this is your profit will go up, or whatever it is. You need to have a clarity, put together a business case study. And the best thing is, don't just go with a theory, go with some proof of concept. You can say that, hey, I tested this in this one of the local coffee shops and it really worked, and this is the result. If you go with that testimony or the real proof of concept, you will probably get their attention more than just going, hey, I have an idea, I have a product. You know, if you're not able to demonstrate, you need to go with the strategies and tacticals. Okay, so these two things, focus on the end result, not your product features and benefits, the end result, what it means for them. And then of course go with the proof of concept that you have already tried and tested, because at the end of the day you want to, you don't want to waste their time, right? Because you only have a window of few seconds or minutes. So that's where you have reached in front of the right audience. Now let's talk about how can you get in front of the audience. The historic way of getting in front of people is knocking on their doors, right? That is the best way to do. You would get rejections. You probably will not get attention initially. If your product or solution is really wonderful, probably you'll get attention right away. If not, then you will have to persist, like how Colonel Sanders persisted hundreds of times at the age of 66 selling his recipe. So I'm sure you have something unique to offer to them. Persist, okay, get in front of them, knock on each and every coffee shop, right? That's number one. Number two is try and reach out to some top executives of Starbucks or all these coffee shops on social media platform. Just try and figure out where can you find your audience, who are your decision makers, and what do they do. Try and become their what do you call, the advisor, advocate. You just promote their content everywhere so that you catch their attention, and try and find out what do they do, what do they like. Do they like cricket? I mean, cricket is an Indian example, a bad example, but if they
We
like
know, we know cricket. We know cricket everywhere.
you got it, right. So if you have a baseball, football, whatever they like, or their kids, what do they like, and send them the gift, free gift. Find out the address, send them the gift. That's how you build a relationship. Find out what they really, again, we live in a beautiful time that you can find anything that you want for anybody on this planet. They have some or the other presence on social media, unless there is some weirdo who doesn't really use social media, but you will find most information there. So leverage that, build some relationship, build some connect, keep sharing the information with everybody, and I'm sure you will be able to persist and you'll be able to have your breakthrough. The key to all this is, if you truly believe in your product, do not give up. Okay, you may get rejection from the coffee shops, you may get rejection online, you will not have people responding to you. They probably don't know your value yet. Okay, until you will meet some sane guy who will say, oh, voila, this is the amazing product, where were you? So Mark, just keep persisting. So that's my answer.
Beautiful. That is such a great tactical, detailed advice with a sprinkling of motivation in there. I really like it. So for Mark, I'm going to take Dev's advice, and I'm going to take it a little bit further. So you followed Dev's advice. You've gotten a meeting with these top executives. So assuming that you got a meeting with these executives at these coffee shops, so now you have to make your presentation. So now the nerves are going to kick in. I could speak from my experience because I've spoken at big stages. I've spoken at TEDx. These are a couple of things that people can do when you're feeling nervous. Well, whether if it's in Mark's case, presenting in front of people that could buy your product. I mean, you could be invested a lot of money into your product, and this is a make it or break it moment for you. So there's a lot at stake. And when there's a lot at stake, our brain starts to tell us all sorts of things, how it's not going to work out. Even though you've been through the entire process, you're ready, you have all your information right, you know exactly what to do, and you're in front of the person. One of the techniques that I I learned recently, it's actually from Josh Pice. He created a program called Committed Impulse, which is for actors, but it's very beneficial for entrepreneurs as well. It's so easy. All you have to do is party with your emotions. So have a party with it. So eventually, sometimes when we go on stage, Dev, you have spoken for lots of people, your heart starts to pound, you feel sweaty, you have everything kind of bubbling up like close to your face. Just don't say that you're nervous. Don't say you're nervous. Don't say you're anxious. Just feel the body sensation and don't think about what it is that you're feeling. Because as soon as you think about what you're feeling, you're going to disengage with your body and you're going to disengage with the people you're presenting in front of. So just say, whatever, I'm having a body party. I'm just partying with my emotions. And it actually disappears within a couple of seconds. I promise you, because I have tried it myself. It works. So try that technique over and over again. And then once you're in front of those people, you're going to be able to sell your product really well.
I love that idea, what you just said. And one of my friend also gave the exact example that whatever you tell your brains, that becomes your reality. You're feeling, sweaty on the stage, you're feeling nervous. And if you're telling yourself that you're nervous, then you will be nervous.
Yeah.
So I really like what you just said. It is so practical. And one of my friend, he was on one of the contest on Mr. the local universe type of event.
Oh, Mr. Universe?
Yeah, it is Mr. Universe of one small community.
I like it. No, Dev, hold on. This is really interesting. Is it a bodybuilding one or is it more like a beauty pageant?
It's more a beauty pageant.
They have beauty pageant for men?
I mean, not really, for men, but Mr. something, right? The local Mr.
We don't have that in Canada. That's interesting. I like it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so he was on the stage again, in front of thousands of people, and he said exactly the same thing, that the moment, he was feeling nervous, he told himself that, hey, this is my moment, and I am excited, right? Moment he started talking to him and kept telling him, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. He became excited and he won, right? So that was an amazing moment. So great answer.
All right, so we have one last question, Dev.
Mm-hmm.
We're off to a great start. So it comes from Nina. Nina saying, I'm trying to find a way to make enough money to keep a roof over my head and spend more time acting. So she wants to be an actress. How can I do that? My job is 40 hours a week and I need more time to act.
I love this. I love this because this is somebody who's passionate about something, and that is the real passionpreneur, that that your passion is acting, but at the same time, you still have to survive, right? So how can you find more time for acting? Look, there are two ways. Number one is whatever you're doing 40 hours a week, you still have enough time, right? It's just an excuse. And again, I'm not saying in your case specifically, but I am still working 40 hours a week, probably more than 40 hours. And I'm doing YouTube videos. I'm doing these live streams. I am doing workshops. I'm finishing my book, releasing it this end of this month. And if I'm doing so many things, you can do that too. You have 2 weekends, make most out of those weekends. Try and outsource some of the household stuff which is consuming your time. Try and outsource it so that you get more time. Even if you're working 8 hours in a day, you still have, let's say, six, sleep a little less, have 6 hours of sleep. And as a human body, you don't need more than 6, 7 hours. If you live with 6 hours, it's more than enough. So 14 hours, let's just say 15 hours. You're still left with almost how many hours?
My math is not very good. You got lots of time, that's for sure.
So let's at least you have 6 to 7 hours for yourself, right? And even if you exclude two hours for other household chores and whatever, spending family time, you still have 4 hours every single day. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, that what you're going to do from 7 or 8 in the evening till 1 o'clock, that is going to make a biggest impact. So that's where you work on your passion. That's where you work as a business woman and you build your acting career, right? Reach out to more people and do a lot of things there. That's one way of doing it. The other advice, which comes from, again, Gary Vaynerchuk, I am a big fan of his work as well. So he says that find a job which requires the least effort even if you're making little less money, but you're able to live with it, it is fine. So find a job which requires least effort, but still gives you some money to have cushion. So what you're doing is you're trying to free your time and effort in which is occupied in your current job. You're channelizing that into what you're passionate about. In your case, Nina, you're passionate about acting. You can find a job which requires less effort, and trust me, there are thousands and thousands of jobs out there. Trust me, you're not limited to only one or two organizations. There's so many work, and there's so much work online as well. So try and figure out, the only reason why we get stuck at something is because we don't know something, right? If I'm not rich, if I don't have money, that means I don't know something about money. So I need to go out and figure out about money. So if I'm not able to find time, probably there's something I don't know about time. Probably I don't know how to manage my time or optimize my time. So there are different ways how you can optimize your time, right? You can delegate, right? You can outsource, you can delete, right? So there's four things which which was really impactful. Is do, delete, delegate, and there was something else I forgot, right? So whatever work it is, just do it. Whatever is not important, just delete it. And whatever things anybody can do, just delegate it. So you're freeing your time, right? So if you're struggling with time, just learn everything there's to be learned about the time, how you can be more productive, how you can be better, and then parallelly keep building your business.
Nice. I think that one was automation. Automate.
Oh, yes, yes. Automate,
Yeah.
automate or integrate, right? Either of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly. And this is you're talking about an entrepreneur's life. Most entrepreneurs in the beginning do not do it full time. They usually have a job. They're doing it on evenings and weekends, lunch hour, whatever they can do to make their business work. And I think you and I talked about this before. Don't romanticize. If you had enough time, are you going to be that much more efficient than you are right now? And I'm going to, you mentioned Gary Vee. I love his stuff. And he's always talking about don't worry about not having the time. If I were to audit someone's day, you could see how people are spending their time. We can sacrifice Netflix shows, we can sacrifice shopping and all of that. It's not that important. If you're really passionate about acting, you just have to go ahead and do it. And to your point about getting a job that requires the least amount of effort, is if you look at all the successful actors in the world, Brad Pitt comes to my mind for some reason. So Brad Pitt actually did a bunch of odd jobs. So he wasn't tied down to a specific time slot. Because usually, if you have a 9 to 5 job, maybe for acting gigs, it's a little bit harder because the auditions are at different times. Find a job that's flexible. That's why a lot of working actors they serve at restaurants. They will drive limos, whatever it takes to kind of make ends meet. And then you're able to, and then eventually you could transfer over to a full-time career. It's not an easy world to get into, similar to entrepreneurship, but you just have to make the most out of your time.
Oh,
That's it.
I love the example that you said about the odd jobs. It's a beautiful example. Become an Uber driver. And in last episode we discussed, right? Our needs are not that many. We can survive still in half of the amount that we're making right now. It is just the mental gap that we have, that, oh, I have this much requirement, I need to do this much. No, there are so many things that you don't need to really worry about, and you can live at the minimum expenses. So I think that's a great example, Lily.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Those are all the questions I have, Dev. Do we
Yeah.
have any questions from the audience?
Oh, I did not even check the audience questions. Let me just quickly look at it. I
Let's
forgot.
see.
I thought it's just you and me talking and having a good time.
See, we're like friends. It's no longer that scary live thing for the first time. Do we have anything?
Yeah, so Honest Giggler says, bro, you're a really good man. Thank you so much. So are you. Akhil says, hi Dave sir. For first question, my point of view, before launching a business, you to start achieving small deadlines, make a habit of fulfilling all the deadlines. It may take time in first few days. Yeah. So Akhil is just sharing his thoughts, that have small deadlines, make it a habit of fulfilling those deadlines. It may take time initially, but if you persist, you would be able to really, really do good. So great input, Akil, great input. And I completely agree. If you track, and as Lily said, that everybody has time, it's just that what you're doing with time is the most important. So if you just monitor your time, you would be able to find the gaps. And if you just have those deadlines, you would be able to achieve more. It doesn't matter how many hours I spend on certain things, but what matters is what is the outcome, what is how productive I was. If I can finish some jobs in few minutes, why would I want to spend hours in that? So great input. So that is all from the audience. I do have one question which I got on my YouTube channel last week.
Nice.
So Bhuvnesh asked a question. He says that I'm providing manpower security services. How can I attract my clients or customers?
Manpower security services. I'm assuming it's a security service physically, like a security
Yes.
guard.
Yes.
Okay.
Security. Yes.
How can you attract more clients? I think what's his name? Bhuvnesh?
Bhuvnesh. Yes.
So for Bhuvnesh, you need to figure out where does your ideal customer spend the most time? Whether if it's LinkedIn, if it's social media, Instagram, wherever that is. Let's say assuming it's LinkedIn. If LinkedIn is the area that your ideal client is going to be spending most time, is targeting specific people that you really want to connect with. And now people get spam all the time in LinkedIn or wherever it is, all over social media. You want to think about how you are going to be different from the rest of the people out there that's contacting them for the exact same reason. A typical message would be, hey, I own this manpower securities company. I want to come and meet with you so I could offer my services. Most people would delete that. You want to make sure what is your differentiating proposition. So for Dev talks a lot about care. His one word is care. He talks about Care Nation, and people who really care about care are going to be naturally attracted to him, and that kind of exudes everything that he does. So find out what it is that you really stand for. Find out why you started in the first place, because having a manpower security services is one in many. What makes you so different? There's going to be a huge difference if you say, I'm going to take care of your building as I take care of my father's house. Now people are going to pay a little bit more attention. So find out what's different about you and really be clear in why it is that you're doing what you're doing in the first place. What do you think, Dev? You are frozen, I think. I think I might have lost Dev. Hello, Dev? Okay, guys. So while I'm waiting for Dev is frozen over here. So I'm just going to give quick shout outs to everybody in the chat. So we have Akil. Akil, hello. Nice to see you. Honest Giggler, nice to see you as well. Jignesh Patel, nice to see you. Let's see if Dev is back. Dev is not back. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please let me know. Okay, hold on. Akil is saying something. I think tell them about how important security is and how you can be different from there, and say them your USP points. Yes, of course. Of course, you want to talk about how important security is, but most importantly, how you're different and why you're different. How you're different is also very important. You want to always explain how your service is different from everybody else, but more important, why it is that you're doing. People are going to jump on your mission if they know what you really truly believe in. Is Dev back? Let's see. Dev is back. Yes.
I can't hear anything. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, you froze. Can you hear me now?
Sorry, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything? Oh, geez. Okay. I can hear you.
Okay. You continue.
Okay. I finished my answer. That's all done. Okay, guys. So Dev can't hear me. I'm just going to type something in as I finished my answer. Right.
Cut it off.
See. Okay, there you go.